Nate Diaz and Conor McGregor put on one of the biggest fights in UFC history earlier this month. Now they're going to run it back at perhaps the biggest event in MMA history when UFC 200 goes down July 9th in Las Vegas. Sidebar: Nate Diaz says he would have knocked out Conor McGregor, with Ronda Rousey out of the picture, George St-Pierre still on hiatus, and Anderson Silva having gone more than 3 years without a win. McGregor was the clear choice to headline the historic show. The only question was, who would be his opponent? We found out on Wednesday night, though we had an idea ever since Diaz submitted McGregor at UFC 196, one of company's top-selling PPVs of all time, with roughly 1.5 million buys. A rematch seemed possible eventually, but not immediately, because McGregor, 193 MMA, 7-1 UFC, is the UFC Featherweight Champion and only fought Diaz, 19-10, 14-8, at welterweight due to unique circumstances. Even Diaz called the idea of a rematch crazy, mainly because he's never been granted one of his own, even in losses with less emphatic outcomes. There were plenty of options for both fighters outside of a rematch, but according to UFC President Dana White, McGregor insisted on doing it again, even if those around him disagreed, so he obliged, allowing the 145-pound champ to fight at welterweight, 170 pounds, against Diaz, once again an attempt to avenge his only Octagon defeat. He was obsessed with fighting Nate Diaz again, White told ESPN SportsCenter after the rematch announcement. Obviously, UFC CEO, Lorenzo, Fertitta, and I tried to argue with him and say, let's go back down to 145 and defend your title. Or if you really want the Diaz fight that bad, do it at 155. But he wants to fight at 170. Even his coach, Kavanagh, tried to get him to get off this rematch and off the 170-pound fight. But it's what he wanted, and he's going to get it. From a purely competitive perspective, the reasons behind a rematch can be difficult to comprehend, but when it comes to the bottom line, the company couldn't have chosen a better fight to draw the attention of casual viewers to UFC 200. Title fight or not, McGregor is UFC's biggest star, and Diaz is his perfect foil. UFC 196 was a success by almost every measure, from the nearly record-breaking pay-per-view numbers and the enormous $8.1 million gate to the attention it received from mainstream media outlets, celebrities and other athletes. The combination of McGregor and Diaz created magic, and that was with just 11 days of promotion for the fight. Imagine how this summer will play out.